Another day, another mystery. In the peaceful town of Ellensburg, Washington, a tale of mystery, intrigue, and the supernatural has been spun, captivating the minds of locals, paranormal enthusiasts, and even scientists. This is the saga of Mel's Hole, a seemingly bottomless pit, and the man known only as Mel Waters, who brought its story to the world. The narrative began to unfurl in 1997 when Mel called into Art Bell's late-night radio show, Coast to Coast AM.
Mel's the guy with the never-ending hole, and we're going to ask him about it here in a moment. Now to Eastern Washington. I guess this is Eastern Washington. Mel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
He claimed ownership of a rural property situated 9 miles west of Ellensburg that housed an inexplicable phenomenon, a pit that seemed to have no end. Mel alleged the hole was over 80,000 feet deep, a depth that dwarfed the deepest known point on Earth, the Mariana Trench.
All right. When did you discover this hole?
Well, the hole has always been there. We've been out there for a couple of years now, and the hole has been there since we've been there. It's been there since the previous owner was there, and the previous owner there was quite elderly, and I'd say he was there for a good 30, 40 years before we moved in.
Wow.
And then
and so there's been a thing of throwing stuff down this hole for a long time.
It's been going on, for as long as the hole has been there, I assume.
He spoke of experiments, dropping weighted fishing lines into the abyss. But no matter how much line he released, the pit's bottom remained elusive.
I got to thinking one day, how come this hole is not filling up? It must be an awfully deep hole.
That's a good thing to consider, sure, as you throw stuff in it for decades, literally.
And so, I used to be I would say pretty close to a professional shark fisherman. So I had a couple of huge fishing reels, went out there and started letting the line down. I figure after one...
Did you weight the line?
Oh, yeah. There's, in fact, the original line is still down there. I've just been adding to the line and keeping track of how much line I have used. So I've not reeled it in.
How much weight is on it?
There's a 1 pound weight at the bottom of it.
1 pound weight, all right.
1 pound weight. It's a triangular 1 pound weight.
Okay.
And so that's at the bottom of it at first.
So in other words, it would go down kind of like a plumb bob.
Exactly. In fact, I have a rigged across the center of it there, and it goes straight down from the center there. And occasionally I try to move the line there, but when you're moving that much line, you really can't do a whole lot with it. But it seems to, there seems to be, it's not resting against anything at this point here, and it continues to go down freely. And so when I was out there earlier, I'd let out a little bit more line.
Mel's Hole was no ordinary geological oddity. Mel spun tales of strange occurrences that suggested something supernatural. He spoke of a neighbor's deceased hunting dog discarded into the hole, only to reappear, alive and well days later. He mentioned black beams of anti-light erupting from the hole and strange creatures and voices echoing from its depths.
The one guy claims that he threw his departed canine down into the hole.
Oh, really?
And he swears, well, the story is the guy that did it swears the dog actually came back to him. And he was a hunter. He was a hunter. The story is that he was a hunter, and he was out there hunting, and he saw the same dog. He had the same collar. He had the same little, little metal thing on his collar there. And he said it was the same dog. And he says he knew he threw the dog into the hole. But that's not, that's not my dog. That's not my...
It's not your story, but it's a story of a resurrected dog.
Enter Red Elk, a self-proclaimed half-native medicine man and intertribal shaman, who added another layer to the enigma of Mel's Hole. Red Elk claimed to have known about the hole since childhood, asserting it was common knowledge among local tribes.
That particular hole was expelling. It's like flushing the toilet, but it blows it up into the sky. All of a sudden it looks like a black flashlight in the day.
He spoke of the hole's mystical properties and its guardians, giant beings he referred to as the big people.
There are people down there, alien people to us, that were here even before man. They cannot stand our weather. They can't stand the sunlight or the cold. Their planet they come from is a desert planet, so they live underground. And in this time and age, there's going to be There's going to be some real interaction, and they want to control us as slaves, as food, as sex items. Doesn't matter if they're male and you are either, I'll guarantee you.
He claimed the hole was a portal to other worlds, and he had seen alien creatures emerge from it. He also asserted that the U.S. government was aware of the hole and its paranormal properties.
There are beings below us, and our government works with a lot of these beings, and these beings use this hole to load and unload certain objects that they need down there.
The tale took a dramatic turn when Mel alleged government interference. He claimed his property was seized and he was forced into exile. He later contacted Art Bell again, stating he had discovered a second hole in Nevada with similar properties.
You were just a pile of nerves when I talked to you. Now, what? Explain again. You went up to your property. You were going to examine the hole because we were talking about it. I'm sure you had interest. So, and they stopped you there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I originally after the show on Friday night, I went out there and in the evening and noticed there were some helicopter activity around the property. There was further helicopter activity the next day. And so I figured that clearly somebody out there listens to your program.
Oh, yes.
And I think...
John, I'm really sorry I brought this on for you. I didn't... It certainly wasn't intentional.
Well, you know, when we talked yesterday, you felt that probably the best thing to do is to be public in this matter. And
that's right. Your best protection is to be public, Mel.
Mel's dialogues with Art Bell were filled with claims of government cover-ups, strange occurrences, and the supernatural. Each call added another layer to the mystery, further enthralling listeners. Mel spoke of his exile in Australia, his return to the U.S., and his discovery of the second hole.
Ultimately, they did make me an offer that I could not refuse, and I will tell you the offer that they made me. And it had to do with going to Australia, and I needed money to go to Australia, and I wanted to continue my research in medicinal plants. And so we put together a very interesting package and a very interesting lease on the land to this party.
Well, as a matter of fact, you told, or no, did you tell me you were going to Australia? Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you told me that they had made you an offer for the land, essentially, which was going to be, if I recall correctly, leasing it
in perpetuity.
In perpetuity. In other words, forever, or for your life anyway.
That's exactly.
And so then you were off to Australia with a parcel of money.
I'll tell you, they basically gave me $250,000 a month for the property.
$250,000 a month? My God!
He described the second hole as having strange magnetic properties, affecting the local wildlife, and even causing time distortions.
I have known about that hole up there. It's it has been known since the 1800s. It has been known exactly the way it is. I can tell you that some of the people that I talked with towards the end of everything on my way back said it was a spiritual site for them up there.
Despite numerous attempts, Mel's hole remains elusive. Satellite imagery reveals no evidence of the hole, and Mel's personal history is equally ambiguous, with no public records to confirm his identity or corroborate his claims. Red Elk, too, passed away in 2015, taking with him any additional information about the hole. Yet the legend of Mel's hole refuses to die. It continues to captivate and bewilder, drawing those intrigued by the unknown into its narrative. It has inspired investigations, featured in books and TV shows, and even sparked a local festival. Whether Mel's hole is a genuine paranormal phenomenon or an elaborate hoax, its tale is a testament to the enduring allure of the unexplained. Its truth, much like anything allegedly tossed into the hole, seems to have been swallowed up by its own depths, leaving behind a fascinating narrative that continues to intrigue and mystify. Like and subscribe to dive deeper into our mysterious world.